make a van scary? I watched Evil Things. It's a movie that's available on Tubi that is found footage. It is about a bunch of college kids that go on a trip during the winter to this secluded house to just relax and have fun. While they're going there through these mountain paths and everything's kind of dangerous, they run into a van that cuts them off and then gets ahead of them, and when it was behind them, he was honking at them like crazy, just being rude. So they run into him, they're upset by it, they don't think a ton of it afterward, and they eventually get to a diner. And when they get to that diner, they see the van creeping on them again, and it happens again. The van follows them afterwards, and so they're scared at this point. The women are freaking out. I gotta admit, they did a good job with making the van creepy. They did a really good job with that. It's just a black van, but the way it stalks them, it was very tense. Eventually they make it to the house. They go out for a long hike in the woods. Then when they come back, they find a tape waiting for them that shows that somebody has been recording them ever since they got to the house. And that's when the stalking begins. Evil Things is an interesting movie. Characters can be a bit much. The women, especially in the group, scream a lot. There's a lot of screaming. But it's an effective group dynamic that they put together. There were some problems with the movie, though. There was something weird going on with the frame rate of the film itself. It felt like things kept slipping into slow motion, and that wasn't happening. But they must have been skipping frames, and it just happened intermittently. And it certainly wasn't my connection or the television, so I'm not sure what happened when they were filming this, but something happened. It was almost funny. One of the other big sins of this movie is that they put background music in. Now that can make sense when you make something into a documentary. I can deal with that in stuff like Diary of the Dead, where they explain that music has been added. They actually say that at the beginning of it, so it makes sense. But this, at the beginning, it's listed as being court evidence. Why would they add a soundtrack to court evidence? I couldn't stop thinking about that. It's a subtle soundtrack, but it's there. And the fact that it's there kind of ruins the whole conceit of the film. Anyway, Man and Van, very creepy. They did a good job. I could do without as much screaming, so I'm gonna give this a 2.5 out of 5. I did enjoy it, and it was tense. They did a good job. There are just some issues.